Hi, my name is Amy. I go by Pearls and Ponderings here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is a very, very, very overdue fourth Flosstube. My pronouns are she, her, everyone is welcome here, and I'm going to try not to edit too much. I'm trying to fit this in before my battery dies, before the baby wakes up, and before I fall asleep. I think my last video was maybe October, might have been last summer. Haven't checked because I got the fear of filming again, and so I'm out of breath because I've been running around trying to find all of the things. This may be very rambly, for which I apologise, but hopefully you'll stick with me and see what I've managed to work on. I'm only going to cover what I've worked on since the beginning of June. That's when I started actually making notes of things again. I'm not joining in the mid-year whip parade because our house is in complete disarray due to some renovation work, and most of my projects are in a cupboard I can't reach at the moment, but I have managed to pull out a good few. So, to begin, I'm not going to put in pictures and stuff, and I apologise I'm not looking at the camera. I've got notes down here and stuff all around me. Hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'm talking to myself. I'm gonna cover starts, finishes, whips, a little bit of knitting. I don't think I've got plans at the moment, things just happen. So some finishes to start. One, this was a reasonably quick start and finish. Little card. It's technically a birthday card. I'm going to give it to my friend. It's not birthday related, but she will appreciate a stitched card. It's been in my stash for a few years. I think it was the world of cross stitching, and it's just stuck in there with a bit of washi tape. But it's clearing some of those magazine kits out of my stash. I had a bigger finish as well. This one you will have seen before if you've watched my previous videos. If you have, thank you very much. Needle minders attaching to floss drops. Just making sure I haven't got needles everywhere. I bought from the lovely Charlie Feathers some of her floss drops and moved the Hello Petal threads on there from Caterpillar Cross Stitch because I don't enjoy the new way that they do their threads in their kits, so this made it much more manageable, and they're just so beautiful. They're all different. She jelly prints them. She sells them on her Ko-fi coffee thing, and they're just beautiful. And this is a finished Hello Petal. There we go. I started this the week after we found out I was pregnant with our daughter, and I finished it at some point in early July, which was about 2 years after I started it. She's 19 months old now. But I really enjoy doing these. I started with the autumn one, which is in a previous video. That's still my favourite. The colours are great, but these are going to go in our daughter's bedroom when I find some frames, and hopefully that'll be before she's a teenager, when I think she'll probably appreciate them less. So it's on my list of things to do. So those are finishes. Whips, in no particular order. This one is one that has probably been on the go for about 10 years. It's a really small Michael Powell kit. It's going to look like this. Colours are beautiful, but it is not very big and still has about 21 colours, blends, all sorts in it. I'm hoping to actually get it finished. It's in my work bag, so if I get a chance during lunches and things, I try and stick a few stitches in. I do love Michael Powell, but his work really comes to life when you put the back stitch in, and I don't particularly enjoy back stitch, so it's a bit of a weird one, and this has so many colour changes in it, it gets a bit frustrating. It is in a, technically I think a notions pouch from Canny Little Fox. You will see quite a bit of her stuff. It's really cute, mushrooms, and came with the one I shall show you next. So I can't remember whether I showed these in my last video. I intended to, I'm not sure I ever filmed though. This is a travel pack, Canny Little travel case from Canny Little Fox, and it looks like this. It's brilliant. These came from Michael Powell's closing down sale from his studio in Cardiff, and I got one of these for myself and one of these for my best friend, and kitted us both up with my next whip, which is, have I got a cover picture? Excuse the rustling. Here we go. Roses are red, knowledge is power. Go smash the patriarchy, you beautiful flower. I kitted it up for my friend on 14 count Ada, I think, but I decided to do it 1/1 on 32 count. The fabric is a Lakeside Needle Craft exclusive spring something, because the top is cut off, apparently the bottom, because I've stitched this upside down. But here we go, tiny very satisfying, but not easy to do much in one go. And the needle minder says, the patriarchy won't smash itself, dear, and was very kindly given to me by the gorgeous Helen at the Digi Stitcher, and I think it came from an O'Treacle pin badge, which she converted into a needle minder. I love working on that one. I mostly work on it when I meet up with my friend, which is infrequent at best. Then we've also got more tiny stitching in the shape of, I think it's called Crows Over Field. It's a mini adaptation of a Van Gogh. Concerningly, no idea where my needle is, or my needle minder. That's something to panic about later. Here we go. Teeny tiny. This is 28 count, 1/1. I just wanted it to be really dinky, which it is. I did loads of this. I did all of this in, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, and then lost interest. So I need to find my interest again. I really do need to also find the needle minder. Well, given that my daughter's been playing with these, there's some hunting to be done. And next we have the chessboard. Again, those of you who have been here before will hopefully recognise this. I started this for intending to be a Christmas present for my husband and mine's first Christmas together. That would have been Christmas 2019. It's still unfinished, though progress has been made. We are now not quite on the home straight, but getting there, nearly halfway around the third side. So it'll happen, and then it'll need a really good wash, and I'll have to figure out how I'm going to frame it. Yeah. But it is beautiful. I think there are a few close-ups on my Instagram if you want a better close-up, but here we go. no needle minder on that one because it broke. So I just have a loose needle. And then I've been working on Deck the Halls by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I realised I've been really poor at saying who all these are by and from, and it's partly because I can't remember on a lot of them. This is, however, a Caterpillar Cross Stitch one that I started in the wrong place and therefore have to figure out how to get the bottom, which I think is baked gingerbread, up to the top because I'm going to run out of space. This should have been the top. So this one I work on with joy and then get frustrated. It'll get finished, probably not in time for this Christmas, but we shall see. And then we have Beth, if you're watching, you can choose to look away. This is baby's birth sampler. Friends of mine had a baby back in June, and this was the birth sampler that they chose. We've seen it there, but not in progress shots. Another needle minder from the Diddy Stitcher. It's a pair of boobs, which seems appropriate. And here we go. The fabric, I've got no idea where the fabric, it's a cloud pink purple iridescent 16 count. Don't think, oh, you can sort of see the sparkle. This has been generally really enjoyable to stitch, but I've mostly been doing grey for a while, and that's, the grey is getting old, but I'm nearly done. I did switch out the 310 for 3799 DMC because just the 310 I find a bit flat, whereas I really like 3799. This one is kind of sort of focus at the moment, just because there are more babies due and more babies have been born, and I've promised everybody birth samplers, and I don't know why, because now I have an awful lot of stitching to do on top of all the stitching that I already am doing. More beautiful, larger floss drops from Charlie Feathers. Go and check out her well, her Flosstube's lush as well. I was lucky enough to meet Charlie in Cornwall when I visited in March, because she lives down there, and it was just really lovely to meet her in person. And she gave me a beautiful gift as well, which I will show you in a moment because it's up there somewhere. Last but not least, I think, she says, checking her notes, last but not least, from a stitching perspective, I have a new start, and that is all Kitty Whip's fault, which I don't think she'll mind me blaming her for, and that is because of Chatelaine Wednesdays. I kitted this up last summer, about this time last year, and never actually started it. Apologies for the rustling. But I did start. Ah, that's where my needle minder is. This is a tiny needle minder from UK Needle Minders or some such. I think it's Coffee Crafts Fabrics, but they're needle minders. I picked that up at the Floss Friends retreat last year. This is the centre of Christmas Tree Mandala. It's a small one, it's only 80 by 80. I'm doing it 2 over 2 on 32 count. So very, very small start. I think the Diddy Stitcher started this as well because she also had it in her stash, and she's made way more progress than me already. Tomorrow is Chatelaine Wednesday, so that one will come out tomorrow. Lighting setup and stuff is not great at the moment, and I found that really hard to stitch on without good lighting, but I shall make some progress. On to knitting. I have finished a pair of socks. They have been given away because they didn't fit me, and it was incredibly disappointing because they were the beautiful Nesty socks by Merediddle Makes, but it's okay because I'm now working on different Merediddle Makes socks, and they are the Birds of Prey socks. The yarn is Fibre Co. Maybe Cumbria. I don't think I still have the band, which was a bit daft. But given that I finished the first repeat, here's the I'm doing 2 at a time on circular needles because I don't want to get second sock syndrome. And there we go. That's where we are. My tension is awful. These currently look like they're going to be way too big for my sister, which is who they're for. But we shall see what happens once they're actually finished. And I might just have to shrink them in the wash because I'm sure I'll be able to do that. The last thing I've got currently and have worked on in the last 2 months is a blanket for my daughter. I made one similar for a friend's baby earlier this year. It's in Stylecraft Special Aran. It's 100% acrylic. I think, yeah, 100% acrylic. It's gonna be all of these colours because I bought way too much yarn when I did my friend's blanket and really liked it, so I'm using up the yarn. I've tweaked the pattern slightly because it was one I came up with, so it's got a bit of ribbon around the edge now just to stop it rolling quite as much. And the pattern is called, I've seen called Bee Stitch. It gives you a little bit of like a hexagonal honeycomb effect on the back, and that's that. I will just grab the cushion from Charlie. Oh, here we go. She made this. It is beautiful, and it lives in a space that would usually be above my desk when this room is suitable. It's got a lovely weight to it, and it makes me very happy to look at. That was an unnecessary close-up of my face. I think that's it. Plans are to try and finish things. I will invariably start things that I can reach. I don't really have much else by the way of haul, though I do have some. I'm going to start at some point the Bookworm Fairy, which is a Hannah Lynn design charted by Haid, and they do. I wanted some cards to put all the floss on, and so I asked Charlie if she would make me some floss cards, and she did, and they're beautiful. And I also got a bling ring from her, which is also one of her jelly prints. And I won't take these out because they're just going to rustle loads, but here's the top one, and I will show you the rest once I've got it all kitted up. If you stayed through my rambling, thank you very much. Hopefully I won't be another 10 months before I film again. Drop a like and a comment, subscribe, encourage me to keep doing this, please. Holds myself accountable a little bit. Apologies again for the rambling. Have a great, well, I mean they're calling it summer, but whatever this is in the UK at the moment right now. I hope those of you not in the UK and experiencing other weird forms of weather are all staying safe, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.